Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News. Tonight, new provincial legislation would change petition procedures and referendum rules. Outside influence, social media changes reveal some Alberta separatist accounts appear to be based in foreign countries. And bit backlash, why there's an uproar over Dave Chappelle's stand-up show at Rogers Place.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
An Alberta separatist group attempting to advance an independence referendum question has been told to go back to the drawing board. The province is tabling changes to the rules for citizen initiative petitions and other parts of the Election Act. CTV's Connor Hogg joins us now. So, Connor, what is the status of this independence question that's currently before the courts?
Matt, the Alberta Prosperity Project wanted a referendum to ask, quote, do you agree that the province of Alberta shall become a sovereign country and cease to be a province in Canada? The province now says it can't go ahead as is, while the Forever Canada pro-Confederacy petition that was verified this week can proceed.
If we allow the process to proceed in the Forever Canada petition as it is, that a different petition will have to go through the same rigors and get those signatures that they need. Simultaneous, sure, but piggybacking, no. There will be
Justice Minister Mickey Amery says the province would allow both questions to proceed as long as they meet signature requirements and are constitutional. It will not combine them. Other changes include more paperwork for petition canvassers. Higher penalties are also being put in place for retaining personal information gathered in petitions. The Act is also making adjustments to the names of future political parties in the province. It would forbid the use of terms related to current parties or any legacy names of parties that were combined to form current ones. Amery says these can confuse Albertans into thinking they're voting for something they aren't.
There is no difference between somebody registering a political name that is very similar to an existing and well-established political party as there would be for a restaurant that has been in operation for decades, having a competitor open next door with a very similar same name.
Former UCP MLAs Peter Guthrie and Scott St. Clair are currently in a legal battle with the province over their attempt to use the Progressive Conservative Party name for their rebranded Alberta Party. Among the list of unacceptable words are advantage, conservative, liberal, pro-life, democratic, wild rose, solidarity, communist, reform, green, republican, and independence. Amery says the timing is unrelated and Albertans need to know the ideologies of the parties asking for their support. Today's amendments also include deterrence for long ballot petitions like those seen in the Battle River Crowfoot by-election, as well as allowing term additions for justices of the peace and limitations to the education and training that the Law Society of Alberta will accept. Amery says today's new rules do not affect the Recall Act, adding the government is happy to defend its record against recall petitions. Matt?
All right, Connor Hogg, thank you. Alberta Prosperity Project is defending itself from claims its social media is being run by someone outside of the country. It says a new feature on X that shows a user's location is wrong. CTV's Tim Brooke explains.
The leader of the Alberta separatist movement says it's picking up steam.
It doesn't come with pomp and circumstance, but it is shifting, and so those are positive signs for us in our movement.
Head online and it's easy to believe. The town square is filled with almost non-stop separatist sentiments, but not everything is as it seems.
Our information environment is increasingly becoming a rage economy. And what we're seeing is foreign actors, foreign individuals sort of monetizing our polarization.
A new X feature shows the location of accounts, and many of those pushing separation don't appear to be from Alberta or even Canada.
They don't really have an interest in what's going on. The sentiments are probably not genuine. They just want to get the engagement.
But while some foreign actors have been exposed, others are now claiming there's been a mistake. Take the Alberta Prosperity Project, which has more than 15,000 followers, including the Premier. Its communications team tells us the APP is purely Alberta rooted and that the new location feature raises critical questions about privacy and free expression.
So this is one more signal, but it's not necessarily a definitive signal like some are portraying it.
Other accounts claim they use a VPN to hide their real location or were tagged while traveling.
Location finder was left on, and it still says that it was posting from the United States. On the wall behind me, I've got the citizenship certificate.
Just another reminder to be cautious.
I would always take it with a grain of salt and see if somebody else that I know and trust that have a proven track record of providing accurate information is also sharing it.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
And last week, some users noted the federal Liberal and NDP parties had their locations listed as being south of the border. The parties say they flagged that to X and they since changed to Canada. Edmonton City Council has solidified next year's tax increase at 6.9%. During budget talks today, councillors agreed to spend more than $9 million to improve traffic flow near the River Cree Casino. The project is a three-way partnership with the province and Enoch Cree Nation.
If Enoch is successful, the West End is successful, and not only Ward CP Weeniewalk, but Ward Nakota Iska, also, Stony Plain, Spruce Grove, the region. It is a very large economic corridor.
West End councillor Tu Parmar says the intersection where the White Mud meets 215th Street is frequently backed up. The money for the city's portion will be taken from its reserve, which currently sits below the self-imposed minimum balance. Council also approved $6 million to hire 31 new peace officers who will be dedicated to traffic enforcement. Mayor Andrew Knack says peace officers are needed because police officers don't have the time and resources to do more traffic stops.
People talked about safety in every community. Traffic safety was one of the #1 issues. This is going to make a meaningful difference on the safety of our streets. So it's critical that we're starting this.
With this agreed upon tax increase for homeowners, the average homeowner will pay about $245 more in property taxes next year. Comedian Dave Chappelle's first performance in Edmonton was met with backlash online this morning. Some people say hecklers ruined the experience. CTV's Merrick Takash has more.
Dave Chappelle, we're really, really, really sorry.
An apology song for comedian Dave Chappelle after his stop in Edmonton. The show, the hot topic on Virgin Radio, with callers describing what many considered to be a disaster.
Dave just shut down. He said, yeah, I've done 1 million shows, and this is the first time I can't wait to be off stage.
Wow. Oh, my God.
There's no video of the performance because cell phones were banned from the event. Sherry Coates was inside the arena when it all unraveled.
3/4 of the way through, that's when the crowd kind of got a little rude, I'll say. Yeah, rude.
There have been complaints about audio issues and about the behavior of some in the crowd loudly heckling. Sherry says she was embarrassed.
Honestly, he just stood there and he looked at his watch and he's like, I could stand here for the remainder of the show for the next 10 minutes that we have, and you guys can just scream at me and be ignorant, or
Rogers Place is usually such a vibe. There was a show and some Edmonton wasn't very nice.
The reaction inspired Virgin Radio's Jenna Winterburn to perform the apology.
I really felt like, due to what the audience was doing, I had to find a way to apologize to Dave Chappelle in my own creative way. So I did a little bit of a parody apology song.
Winterburn has been a stand-up comedian for 8 years.
Most of Edmonton knows that we could do so much better than what we did. It was a few hecklers who kind of unfortunately ruined the experience for a lot of people.
Both Coates and Winterburn think the show left a negative impression on Chappelle and his team.
We were one of the very first stops on his tour, and he's not going to be back, I don't think.
It's Dave Chappelle's first time coming to Edmonton. Unfortunately, probably his last.
Sorry!
Dave Chappelle continues his North American tour in Portland tomorrow. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Charges have been laid following the death of a 22-year-old man over the weekend. Police say the man was stabbed. He was found dead when police found him Saturday night near 160 A Avenue and 83rd Street. An injured 53-year-old woman was taken to hospital. A 25-year-old man has been charged with second-degree murder, attempted murder, and arson. Police say the suspect and the two victims know each other. First responders were receiving free massages at MacEwan University today. Massage for a Cause has been held for a decade now, and during that time, massage therapy students have given approximately 900 massages to police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and members of the military.
They get to see sort of a different clientele in sense of normally who they see is not these folks, so it's great to see them be able to work with first responders who are, typically really fit people, and it's a good opportunity for them.
The school says this year, 26 students performed 78 massages. The Canadian Mental Health Association is offering people a place to turn if things get tough over the holidays.
If you've been doing well and kind of maintaining your mental health, this is also a time of year when, just because of all the expectations and the obligations, we can lapse from time to time, and so it's actually quite common for people to have their mental health actually deteriorate a little bit as the holidays approach, and then certainly during the holidays as well.
The CMHAA says nearly 92,000 calls, texts, and chats were answered through its help and crisis lines in 2024 and 2025. Almost 5,000 people in Edmonton took part in mental health classes. The association says they're there if anyone needs a listening ear or information. Well, it's been a slushy mess for most of the day, making clearing sidewalks trickier than usual in Edmonton. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti shows us ways to keep people from slipping outside their house.
The sidewalks in Edmonton are getting wet and slippery, prompting people to add some grit.
We have a little dog, so I'm always looking for pet friendly. I like the salt because it does melt things.
The city is seeing snow mixed with pockets of rain, making for a slushy situation. With temperatures bouncing above and below zero, it's important to shovel now and get ahead of it.
You get to it as often as you can in small amounts. It's not only less work, but you're less likely to have people walking on it and creating ice later on when it does get colder overnight.
KMS Tools and Equipment Manager Wally McDonald says sand is popular for traction, but not ideal for melting.
Ones that have calcium chloride in it are better for the colder temperatures. Magnesium chloride is usually a little cheaper, but it's only good to about -10, -15. You can always use good old-fashioned salt.
And you can't go wrong with a shovel.
Having one with a nice metal edge on the bottom is also great if you have any ice and you want to try to scrape in it, because you don't have to worry about cracking and breaking the plastic as much.
Scooping up snow on sidewalks is not only helpful to you, but your neighbors.
The community standards bylaw does require property owners to maintain those walks clear of snow and ice, and failure to do so can result in a fine of up to $100 or more.
The city says it's received more than 100 calls of concerns for people not clearing sidewalks since Monday. With more snow on the way, it's important to clear the slush before you'll need this. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Josh, I am begging, if you decide to use one of those leaf or snow blowers, please wait until it's a little later in the morning. That's what woke me up this morning. Of course, we're not here to listen to me.
You have the same neighbors I do.
I didn't know we live on the same block. Josh, a pretty messy mix out there today.
Yeah, and this was bad. Tomorrow's going to be brutal because temperatures are going to drop through the day. At least it was sloppy and slushy through the day today. The entire city is going to be coated in ice by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. At 3 degrees for a daytime high today. We have not hit the low just yet. The coolest it's been so far today, 0. As of 4 p.m., we've backed off to 1, but temperatures will continue to slide here as we head through the rest of the night and tomorrow. It's -6 in Cold Lake this afternoon, -9 Peace River and Fort McMurray. Wait till you see these temperatures that are on the way for tomorrow. Got snow falling in northeastern Alberta. We've had snow in the Edmonton area stretching off to the northwest and to the south and southeast. That'll continue. It'll be broken. It won't be nonstop, but broken pockets of wet snow and flurries through the early evening hours, and then just snow overnight and into early tomorrow morning. Heavy snow probably stays off to the south and west of the Edmonton area, so it doesn't look like we're going to pick up a huge accumulation, but there will be some more snow on the ground by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow through the afternoon, the big story is just this cold Arctic air that's dropping in. There might be a couple of snowflakes, but it really looks like it'll be just cloudy for most of the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening, you get a chance of some flurries returning. Heaviest of the snowfall Friday looks like it'll be in southern and western Alberta. And on Saturday, heaviest of the snowfall will be in northwestern Alberta, with the potential for some of that snow Saturday evening in the Edmonton area. We'll give you a better handle on that timeline for the snow in a second. Look at these temperatures tomorrow morning. 21 degrees below zero in Fort McMurray. 27 degrees below zero in high level. About -9 for Red Deer. Daytime highs or afternoon temperatures tomorrow. Colder than the morning temperatures. -23 in Fort McMurray. Steady at around -27 in high level, dropping to -15 in Grand Prairie tomorrow. Temperatures will drop close to -20 by tomorrow afternoon in Lloydminster and falling to -11 in Red Deer here in Edmonton. Around midnight, -5, -6 range, -10 tomorrow morning, dropping to the mid-teens by supper time tomorrow. Again, you've got that chance of flurries overnight and early tomorrow morning. Cloudy for most of the afternoon hours and then around supper time and into the evening. Another shot of some snow, and that goes for Saturday as well. There's a slight risk early in the morning. I think for most of the day Saturday, it's just cloudy and cold. But Saturday night, you might see a little more snow slide through. Temperatures will moderate a little bit early next week. -12, -14 for afternoon temperatures Friday, Saturday. We're back to about -8 on Sunday, and 3 to 5 degrees below zero for Monday, Tuesday. Even Wednesday looks not bad. But this cold air that settles in middle to the end of next week probably sticks around right through to at least the 20th or 21st of December, maybe right through to Christmas. So a short-lived cold spell in the short term, but in the longer term, a lengthy deep freeze starts next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. Some Edmonton bakeries have found the perfect recipes for growth. Shops are expanding, even with continued economic uncertainty. CTV's Gates Warren explains how.
The pastries that line the dessert case at Duchess Bake Shop are little works of art. The lunch rush crowd eager to indulge in a quick, yet decadent bite.
The goal with Duchess was to bring the best possible quality French-inspired pastries to Edmonton.
The constant flow of customers has helped co-founder Garner Beggs fulfill his dream of consolidating the whole business into one space.
Our kitchen, our teaching kitchen, our atelier distribution, and all of our pastries all under the same roof.
The stars aligned for the shop, with the space next door becoming available not long after it purchased its 124th Street location.
And the timing of that coincided quite perfectly, and we were able to stitch the two buildings together and build everything all up into one entity.
They're not the only bakery in town experiencing continued success. Brio Bakery is set to open a second location on White Avenue. The growth of cafe culture is not a surprise to Edmonton's business community.
To have these little luxuries or these, treat yourself index moments.
The city's Chamber of Commerce says despite economic hardships, people are still finding ways to enjoy small pleasures.
When you're bringing cakes and cookies and pastries, people want to celebrate, and that's not seasonal. That is year-round, and that's something that's easy to justify again because of the price point.
Beggs says there's something special about being able to find a bit of joy in a sweet treat. He hopes the added space will build on their current customer base.
To create places where people can organically interact and meet each other and have dates, have meetings, and that's where great things come out of.
The shop expects to open the retail part of its store in the coming days. Its new teaching kitchen and event space to launch early in the new year. Gates Warren, CTV News, Edmonton.
Here's a sure sign Christmas is closing in. The Butterdome craft sale opened its doors this morning. Promoted as the largest handmade market in Alberta, the Butterdome event has been happening since 1980. This year, there are more than 225 vendors from as far away as Prince Edward Island. Organizers say if you're strictly trying to shop and support Canadian, this is the place to do it.
So everybody is strictly Canadian. Everything is handmade within Canada, which is really important, especially this year, to kind of avoid those tariffs and the shipping delays, for people to be able to come down, meet the artisan, meet the makers that are Canadian.
Organizers are expecting record crowds this year with the push to shop local and Canadian. The Butterdome craft sale is open every day and runs until the end of the weekend. An exuberant Filipino holiday celebration brightened Northwest College today. The sounds of Paskong Pinoy greeted students, staff, and guests at the school. The celebration includes an array of traditional Filipino song, dance, games, and holiday treats. Norquest wanted to acknowledge its many students from the Philippines who have chosen the college when starting their new lives in Canada.
We have a large Filipino community student body at the college, and so it helps to bring them together and build connections, and it also helps other students learn about the different cultures here at the college.
This is Norquest's third Paskong Pinoy celebration. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. Have a great night.